Hey guys, so today I am going to show you how I like to put these cuffs on the end of my Hexi-cardigan sweaters. This is a new way that I had just recently learned how to do. And the great thing about it is that instead of building your rows going this way, you're actually building them going this way, so you can make them as long as you want without having to go back and frog them when you realize, oh, I actually want it a little bit longer. It doesn't go as far as I want it to go. You would just add more rounds on it. So it's super nice and easy. And it turned out really beautiful. I absolutely love the way it looked, and this is how I'm always going to be putting sleeves or cuffs on my Hexa cardigans now. So as you can see, this is my unfinished side that I haven't done yet, so I saved it to do this tutorial. I like to make my Hexa cardigans big. I like them to be biggy, I like them to be loose. That's just how I choose to do it. So I get a very big sleeve opening that I need to shrink down for the cuff. So what I'm going to be doing is that on my first row, I am going to be doing a um, double crochet. Oh, sorry, not double crochet. I'm going to be doing an invisible decrease in every two going all the way around. So it'll shrink it by half. And I'll be working on making it smaller for the first two rows. Um, if your sweaters are not as wide, the arms, the sleeves are not as wide as mine, you might have to adjust a little bit. Maybe instead of doing a decrease in every one, you will do a single crochet and then a decrease, so it only shrinks it by some and not quite as much as mine's going to shrink. You can play around with it just depending on how big. My Hexa cardigan itself, the panels were 22 rows before I sewed them together. So that kind of gives you an idea of how big my sleeves, like you can see how big my sleeves are. I have very big, wide, open, chunky sleeves. All right, so what we are going to do is we are going to grab our yarn, and I'm actually going to lower my camera just a little bit to make it a little bit easier for you guys to see. There, that's much better. I had it raised up so that you guys would be able to see like how big this sleeve really, really is. Now, I like to join my yarn where the underside of the sleeve is going to be so that all the joins are down here and they're less noticeable. So for me, that's going to be over here. And then what we're going to do is we are going to join. Oh, actually, here we go, right here. We are going to join the yarn. So I'm just going to insert my hook, yarn over, pull it back through. So now you have two loops on your hook, and then I'm going to do, I'm going to insert it into the next one. Hi, Watson. Apparently my cat wants to come visit. Like that. So you have three loops on your hook, but you went through two different stitches. Now I like to crochet over the tops of my tails because then I don't have to tuck them later or snip them later as much. So I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to pull through all three of the loops. And that is going to be my first decrease. So I'm essentially taking these two stitches and making them into one stitch. And I'm going to keep doing that all the way around. So these are going to be single crochet togethers all the way around for my first row. So then we're going to grab another one. And then we're going to go to the next stitch and grab another loop. So we have three loops again. See if this one's long enough. Yarn over and pull through all three of those loops again. And then we're just going to keep continuing doing that all the way around. This will take the circumference of my sleeve and drop it exactly by half, which is what I want because I want mine to kind of look like they're like puffy on the end. They don't taper down as quick. They just kind of end. So you end with a nice puffy sleeve end. Okay, so I'll show you one more. I'm going to go in through the stitch, yarn over and pull it through, in through the next stitch, yarn over and pull it through, yarn over once you have the 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull it through all 3. Now I'm going to continue this all the way around, and we will meet back here when I get about over here when I only have a couple more left. So see you in just a minute. Alright, so you can see that I've gone almost all the way around doing my decreases, or my single crochet togethers all the way around, and I'm just doing the last couple of them right here. And then we'll move on to the next row. Now what I like to do is I like to slip stitch it. I'm going to slip stitch it right into that first single crochet together that we had over here, because I think it just pulls it together really nicely. And then I'm going to chain 1. Okay, so you can see how it's already started to shrink it, because it won't, you know, like it doesn't sit flat anymore because of it, which is good. That's what I want it to do. You can see how much smaller it is on my wrist now compared to when I showed you guys just a minute ago. So now for the next row, what I'm going to do is going to be very similar, because I want to decrease it even more. Again, my personal preference, if you like it this size, you can skip this next row and go straight to row 3, but I want mine to be just a little bit smaller. So what I'm going to do is I am going to do single crochet and then single crochet together, and I'm going to repeat that all the way around. Okay, so first, remember, this first chain is going to count as my first single crochet, so then I'm going to do a single crochet together in the next 2 available stitches that I have, and then we'll just do a single crochet and a single crochet together. It's a little difficult to make this spin on camera because of how big the rest of the sweater is next to me, but we got it, we got it. And then we'll do a single crochet and a single crochet together. So we're just going to repeat that all the way around if you wanted your sleeve to be slightly smaller again. And then I'll meet back up with you when I get done with this row. Okay, so now I'm almost back all the way around to where this row had started. I'm going to put a single crochet in here and a single crochet together here and a single crochet here. Perfect. Now we're all the way back around to our stitch marker. I like using stitch markers, especially when you're doing really short stitches like this that aren't very tall, because it's very easy for them to just kind of flow all together and turn into a spiral without even trying. So this way I can just, it's an easier way for me to keep track of exactly where I'm working on my work. So we're going to do a slip stitch to end the row, and I'm going to take out my stitch marker so that I can move it. Okay, so now if you have your sleeve small enough, the diameter small enough, okay, you guys can see, like, this sleeve is so big it doesn't fit on, but now this is how big the width for my sleeve is going to be, or my cuff, which I like a lot better. Keep in mind, it will also shrink a little bit, your cuff will, as you work up in rows, and it's not because we're decreasing, it's just the way that the yarn's going to naturally pull in, which will give you that, like, the elastic feeling without actually having elastic in it, which is really nice. So if you're happy with your stitches now, you can move on to step 3. If you want it to be even smaller still, I would suggest repeating row 2 and doing a single crochet and then single crochet togethers to decrease it a little bit more if that's what you would like. I'm going to move on to row 3 because I have a diameter that I like. So for row 3, we are going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I am going to do a double crochet in the top of each of these stitches all the way around. Now remember, your chain 3 counts as your first double crochet, so you don't need one here, you're going to put one here for your first one. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop so you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Just like that. And we are going to repeat that all the way around. Give this thing a little twist here. And you guys can see how big and puffy my sleeves are. I love that. All right. So again, this row, you're just going to double crochet all the way around. And then when you get back to where you started your double crochets, that's where we're going to meet back up here in just a minute. And I'll show you how to do the next row, because row 4 is going to be your repeat row until you get the height of the cuff that you would like to have. So we'll be right back. Okay, so I am back. I have all of my double crochets all the way around, and I did my slip stitch to finish off this row. So now for row 4, we are going to be doing a series of front post double crochets and back post double crochets, because that's how we're going to create the ribbing that goes all the way around it. So what we're going to do first is we are going to chain 1, and then we are going to do a front post double crochet. So to do that, we're going to yarn over, we're going to go from the front side around the back of the stitch like this, and then we're going to yarn over, pull it back around to the front, and then complete your double crochet as you normally would. Okay. Now we're going to do a back post double crochet. So what you're going to do is you're going to come in from the back side of the work around the front of the post, yarn over, pull it back around, and then complete your double crochet as you normally would. Now it's going to look a little weird at first until we get a couple of rows of these put in, but you will definitely like it as we keep going. So the next one is going to be a front post double crochet, which means you go from the front around the back, pick up the yarn, and come back. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay. Give this a little twist here a second. Excuse me. Now we're going to do a back post double crochet around this one here. So you're going to yarn over, come from the back of the work around the front, yarn over, and pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And we're going to repeat that all the way around for this first row. And quickly here a sec before I get too far away, I'm going to put in my stitch marker so that I know where the end of my row is. Okay, so now this next one is a back post double crochet. So we're going to come from the back to the front, yarn over, pull it back around, pull through 2, pull through 2, front post, back post, front post. Alrighty, and then go ahead and continue that for the rest of the row, and we'll meet back here before we start the next one. Alright, so now I'm back around the back, and as you can see, I actually have 2 more posts here. So this one would be a back post, and this one would be a front post. But I don't want to have a front post next to a front post. I want to keep going front, back, front. So what I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to yarn over, and I'm just going to go around both of them. It's going to be a little bit of a chunky on the bottom, a little bit of a thicker stitch, but remember, this is going to be on the inside of your wrist, not where people are most likely going to see it. So it kind of will help hide it a little bit. Not that it is super noticeable to begin with. I just wanted to keep my every other pattern going. So if it happens to you that somehow you guys end up with an odd number, which is totally possible, this is a good thing that you can do, and it won't overly affect the outcome or the look of your cardigan cuff. Okay, so now I'm going to move my stitch marker. I'm going to do my slip stitch to end the row. Maybe that was a little bit tight. And then I'm just going to chain 1 because these stitches go down. They're a little bit lower, so you don't need to chain as high for them. And then we are going to just continue our same pattern. So if it was where you did a front post, so where it's raised up, you're going to keep doing a front post. If it's one of these ones that are sunk down, see how that one's sunk down in there when I move it around like that? You're going to keep doing that one as a back post. And then you're just going to keep repeating this until you get your cuff to the length you want. For mine, I'm only doing 5 rows. But that's because when I did the cardigan part, I made it so that my cardigan sleeves actually ended right at my wrist. So I just want a short little cuff right here, and it's going to puff out my sleeve a little bit more right here. So I don't want a super long cuff. Now, if you stopped your cardigan back here, you might need a little bit longer of a cuff to get, up to here. And that's fine. All you're going to do is just keep adding rows until you get it as long as you want. And then you will end up with beautiful ribbed cuffs, just like this. So I hope you guys liked my tutorial, and I hope you guys learned a great way to make cuffs, or a different way to make cuffs for the end of your sweaters. If you guys like this tutorial, be sure to subscribe and like it and do all that fun stuff for me. I'm relatively new to the YouTube tutorials and just kind of getting started. So I've been doing videos on things that confused me or I didn't know how to do, and I thought other people might need help with them too. So if there's anything that you guys would like to see, drop it in the comments and let me know, and I will do my best to try and help people learn everything that I can. Thank you guys, and have a great day. Bye.